Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to clear, cleanse the space of all negative and lower vibrations, placing the white light of protection on us with this blue seal. And we're also going to call in the Pleiadians because we are going to be reading out of my Pleiadian workbook, Awakening Your Divine Ka. This is one of my favorite Pleiadian books. I had this book for a few years before I started reading it. And one day I was just guided by them to go get it and start to make a video on it. So this is the first Pleiadian book that I ever got, so it's near and dear to my heart. And we're still on chapter 4, Ra Speaks. So it says, some members of the Buddha Histava order choose to reincarnate from the time to time as ascended master teachers. They experienced physical birth to spiritual parents and generally became enlightened again by the age of 21. At that time, they remembered their own past lives, ascension, and spiritual purpose. These reincarnated Buddha Histavas were wonderful, powerful teachers due to the fact that they had a more natural camaraderie with earth people than the Lyrans, than those who have not been human before. At the time, ascended masters, and still are today, born into younger soul families with varying degrees of genetic damage and karmic patterning. This Buddha Histavas took on responsibility of transformation, transmutation, and transcendence of the lower energies in order to create etheric consciousness maps for others to follow, and they have been an evolutionary forerunners. So they're the people that are sent here to break those karmic patterns, and I am one of them. It's where your families are extremely damaged on probably both sides, the mother and the father line. A lot of narcissism, a lot of abuse, all that type of stuff. So you are sent here to break those generational curses, and once you break those, then the new people that are being born into the family aren't going to have to carry those karma with them. The hierarchies agreed to expand the order of the Great White Light to include enlightened and ascended humans for such roles as the office of the Christ, Buddha, and the order of Merlins, goddess positions such as the Holy Mary, now held by Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, Kachinas, and regional teachers and guides. Prior to the beginning year of the 26,000 year cycle, higher dimensional offices, guides, teachers, and planetary spiritual leaders have been mostly light beings from the Pleiades, Sirius, and Andromeda. So if you've ever felt like very connected to the stars, more than likely you are somebody who has had a previous life that is sent here to help to transform us to the new earth, the fifth dimensional. Says, now the people that are developing enough of their own enlightened and ascended beings to establish their own guides and mystery schools. At the beginning of the 26,000 year cycle, it also requested that accept a crucial, cynical, and evolutionary turning points, higher teachings and guidance from those enlightened ones who had experienced human incarnations. The people of Earth had to evolve to the point where they were capable of communicating with the higher dimensions and star systems themselves, so activating their telepathy. This is where the Ka teachings came in. The people needed to understand how they could hope to accomplish their spiritual goals and become a race of masters on Earth. The Pleiadians taught them about their higher selves, the Ka, though which they could permanently connect with their higher selves, the higher dimensions and star systems. By living living right, evolving, meditating, and praying and mastering their consciousness, they could align with their higher selves and also paying back their karma. If they have karma. Not everybody that's being, the younger people that are being born are born without karma, but the older indigos, the 1970s and 80s, they had karma that they had to pay back, and earlier they had to pay back in order to get to this point. By awakening their divine Ka, they could merge with their higher selves with the physical bodies and embody their divine master presence or Christ selves, their I am. There would be a period of time of preceding their full enlightenment during which their genetic transmutation would be completed as a result of the flow of Ka energy through their Ka channels. And the minute circuitry in their astral bodies and their physical bodies, nervous system, glandular systems, and electrical meridian systems, such as those used in acupuncture and shiatsu. Sorry. So I'm going to leave it at that. But this very much resonates with me. And if it resonates with you, more than likely, you are one of those beings that were sent here to reincarnate to help with this elevation. But it is not something that has been easy. It's been 4 or 5 years of due diligent work and communicating with my guides and really relinquishing all control of my life, which was not easy because I had a lot of trauma, and as a result of it, that trauma, I was almost OCD, a very type A personality. I like to control everything. So I had to learn to not only heal myself and break the cycle of karma, but I also had to completely learn to relinquish control. I'm at the point now where I have, but I still struggle with it. Your egoic mind goes back and forth. So I hope this helps. We'll get into it more. I love you all. Have a blessed day, and namaste.